Very good.
Hey everyone, I discovered something really interesting recently. Sometimes when we pull away the harmonies and specific timbres to a piece and we focus on a simple melodic line, we end up noticing things that we would otherwise miss. That's what happened to me last week when I went to make Grogu's theme and I found an incredible connection to one of the most well-known villains in the Star Wars universe. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
So, Grogu's theme is almost identical to that of Kylo Ren's, which I know seems absurd because when we listen to these two pieces, they're so vastly different. But I want to focus on the theme, the melody alone right now, because when we compare just that part of these two pieces, what we see and hear is remarkable. So let's start with the rhythm of these two themes. Both begin on the second beat in a 4-beat pattern, but they also both follow the rhythmic pattern after that. Quarter, dotted quarter, eighth, and then 2 half notes. Listen again to these two themes and just listen to the rhythm of each.
Wait.
But that is only the beginning. Let's look at the shape of the lines and the specific intervals as well, or what we call the contour of the melody. Grogu's theme begins by moving down a half step, then down a perfect fifth, then up a minor third. Okay, so let's compare that to Kylo Ren's theme. Ren's theme also moves down initially by a half step, then we move by a diminished fifth, but then also move up by a minor third. Now, at the very end, Grogu's theme continues up by a major second, while Ren's leaps down by a minor sixth. But that is really the only big difference between these two themes. Otherwise, they are only separated by a single half step in intervals. Now granted, when we add the chords in as well, we get very different feelings and context to these two, but chords are just chords. They're there to support a melody, not change it, and when we pull them away, we find that we have almost the exact same theme for these two incredibly different characters. And this leads me to a lot of other questions. The first one being, was this intentional? Because if it's not, then to me it shows a direct lack of knowledge on Ludwig Göransson's part for the musical universe that he's writing in. These two themes are way too close to be overlooked, and if Göransson did not intend to make connections here, then it can only mean that he doesn't know the other themes well enough. And yes, you could say, give him a break, how could he keep track of all of those themes? But my response would be that I'm sure he's making bank off of these themes and tracks. And if you're going to take on a lead musical role in a universe where the music is as integral to the story and the character as it is in Star Wars, you darn well better know what you're doing and what's been done. You need to be an expert on a level that most other people aren't. Because if you don't appreciate and respect the art form on that level, well then you really have no business being an artistic creator for anything going on in that universe to begin with. Something pessimistic inside me believes that this was not done intentionally, but I want to actually humor the other thought for a moment because there's so much great theorizing that can be done if we consider that maybe these two themes actually were designed to be nearly identical. The first thing that comes to mind is the fact that both of these characters at some point become students of Luke Skywalker, and as of now, both are failed students. Ben Solo, who later becomes Kylo Ren, destroys Luke's temple and kills all of his students. Meanwhile, Grogu decides to forego his training to be with the Mandalorian and apparently tame Rancors. Now, we ultimately don't know if Grogu will be returning to Luke or not, But that avenue seems closed off, at least for now, based on the finite choice that Luke gave to Grogu.
If you choose the armor, you'll return to your friend, the Mandalorian. However, you will be giving into attachment to those that you love, and forsaking the way of the Jedi.
However, maybe Grogu comes back to Luke at some point, meets a very young Ben Solo, maybe they create a bond of friendship, and who knows, maybe Kylo Ren / Ben Solo does eventually kill Grogu. We know he's presumably not around in the sequel trilogy, so we still have to wonder what has happened to Grogu. But in the meantime, these two themes could be revealing an eventual link between these two characters. I can just imagine a struggle between Ben Solo and Grogu, and it rages on. We hear these two themes being tossed back and forth until they almost become one piece. This is actually going to be my project for next week's Theme Thursday. But in the meantime, tell me what you think in the comments below. Is this a crazy coincidence? And if so, how do you feel about it? Or is there more here than what meets the ear? Could these themes be hinting at a larger connection yet to come? Tell me if I've missed anything in this episode, and before you go, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of the galaxy far, far away. And as always, may the be with you.